Absolutely. I think you've got two politicians there, Bolsonaro and former President Lula, competing in the October election. Bolsonaro has made it very clear that he doesn't intend to leave office. We'll see what he brings to bear in terms of more political turmoil. I think what the fundamental case on Petrobras, talking about dividend yield and valuations, is missing is that many people use Petrobras as a proxy for Brazilian exposure. So a lot of the ETFs and a lot of the other investors around the world who look at Brazil either own Petrobras or don't own Petrobras, not on the fundamentals of the company, but on their view of Brazil. So I would be very cautious about that in the coming weeks, because the political situation there is really heating up. You've got major demonstrations tomorrow that the far right is organizing for Brazilian Independence Day. And I think you've got the chance for some violence, which could really catch the markets by surprise.
David, let's talk about China, because that's what we need to talk about today, given that we are awaiting the trade data for the month of August. How are you looking at the China weakness? How structural is it? If indeed, even the outliers are calling for a 3% growth this year, what would that mean for opportunities in the region?
Yeah, it's a very important part of the Asia investment story and the global investment story. As goes China, so goes so many different parts of the world. One of my concerns is that COVID continues to be such a focus in China, and the zero COVID policy continuing to hamstring growth there. In Chengdu, they were trying to test 20 million people a day, and their testing system went down over the weekend. They've got as many cities in China showing new COVID cases as they had at the height of the pandemic in the spring of 2020. And I think that the municipalities are really competing with each other to show how forceful they can be in supporting Xi Jinping's zero COVID policy. And I worry that's going to turn into more closures. They're going to last longer and are going to really continue to dampen consumer demand in China. I think it's a big problem, combined with the weather, the water shortages, all the other issues, electricity generation, and so on and so forth that we're starting to hear about in China. I think the zero COVID policy and all the lockdowns connected to it